him with
open arms. Whatever we face, we'll be fine if we're leading from the heart.
They can say it, they can say
it
it.
all sounds crazy.
Okay, people are gonna call me insane, and I think I will lose all of my integrity, but I really love the movie Smallfoot.
What? What?
What?
What? What? Ow!
And I decided that I should put a bit of spotlight on it. But before that, let's talk a bit about history, because I love some good history. It gives lots of background. So, where did it all started? Well, take it easy. In the world of animation, we have plenty of studios. We have Disney, we have Pixar, we have DreamWorks, we have Sony, which are in their renaissance right now. But also we have a studio that tried time and time again, but never found the perfect spot for them. And that's Warner Brothers Animation Group. So this studio firstly tried in 1999 with the Iron Giant. And as you know, the Iron Giant got his flowers now. Everybody knows about it and everybody loves it. But back when it was released, it was a failure. A box office failure, but also the critics weren't really friendly with it. And now, look at it. It grows. And I think Smallfoot will do the same. But before we talk about that, why did it fail? Well, in 1990, Disney was in the renaissance. So trying to fight Mike Tyson at his prime, it's gonna be a tough time.
Wait, he hasn't done that tonight. I wonder if that's a change of plan with it.
And Warner Brothers found that out in the hard way. But also, something that didn't really help them was the fact that Pixar was getting their foot in the game, and also DreamWorks was showing up here and there. So trying to fight not only Disney at its prime, but also the newcomer in Pixar and the DreamWorks that was full of veterans from Disney, it was a hard game. So hard that after 2 more movies and Osmosis Jones, they were pretty much out. The only mild success that they found in that period was Space Jam, but let's be honest, Space Jam was more like a guilty pleasure than actually a movie that you would watch and be like, yep, I love that movie. If you love Space Jam, I have nothing with you. I enjoy your movie. I love Smallfoot, so I can't really complain. Some time passes, and even though Warner Brothers had a very big foot in animation, but mostly in TV animation, they being the ones having Cartoon Network, that's no debate the best channel for animation ever. And also having access to so many amazing and incredibly important pieces of animation like Hanna-Barbera and also Looney Tunes, it was a matter of time until they come back into cinemas. And in 2014 they came back with the Lego Movie. And the thing with Lego Movie is that everybody was like, okay, this is just a premium commercial. But it was not. In fact, they cared a lot about it. So now that finally they got their hand in the game, and this time for good, what was the next logical step? Well, most people would say make franchise movies, and they did with Scuba. That was years later and it sucked. But before they did that, they tried their hands with 2 movies, that being Smallfoot and Storks. Honestly, I love Storks a lot, and maybe one day I will make a video about it. You should watch it, it's extremely funny.
And look at you, look what you did.
I did the same thing you did.
Are you in love?
I am in love. Are you in love?
I'm in love too.
I agree.
But Smallfoot especially had something that made me change and made me think that this is something special. So, from the studio that brought you the anti-war movie The Iron Giant and the incredible sharp comedy of Looney Tunes, here comes a movie that not only dissects in a terrifyingly accurate way the cult behavior, colonialism, and the theocratic authoritarianism. I hope I said that right, I most likely didn't. Here comes the movie about singing yetis, Smallfoot. So, before we talk about the movie, why did this movie fail? Well, in my opinion, this movie failed because of 3 major things. First of all, it was an animated movie in 2018 when people were pretty much getting extremely tired of CGI animated movies.
Why does it exist? Who asked for this? Who said yes? Who needs to be held responsible? Who do we need to line up in the backyard?
It was the truth of it. People wanted change. This is why Spider-Verse was so successful. Second of all, James Corden, it's a person that nobody likes.
Oh no, look what the cat dragged in.
Oh my, you look absolutely starving. You can't attend the ball on an empty stomach.
So you're hoping to be chosen?
Yeah, he wants to be reborn as a thin cat so he can get fat all over again.
Just get on with it. There we go.
Me included, I don't like James Corden. But to hate a movie because it has celebrities in it, I don't know. I'm not that type of person. I'm the type of person that if I enjoy something, I would watch it because I enjoyed the art of that person, not the backstory of that person, you know?
Why won't it stop?
Big boy.
Yes, I suppose it is a good restaurant.
What do you mean, restaurant?
And third of all was marketing. Why? Because for some reason in animation, the marketing teams think, okay, it's a movie. It's a movie about kids. It's a movie for kids. We should put every single thing that's for kids and just put dumb jokes.
Wow, a small foot. There's no such thing as a small foot.
There are more small feet below the clouds.
Shut up and take my money.
The marketing for Smallfoot was horrible, and that didn't help at all with this project. So we have these three pieces. History wasn't on your side, the marketing wasn't on your side, and James Corden sucks.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
Does that mean the movie is bad? Oh, the movie is far from bad. I trust me, this movie it's a gem, and you don't see everyday movies having this much guts, especially in a time like the one we live in right now.
Man or human, they showed us human nature. A dangerous species, though we approach with wonder. They attack with their spears and their smoking sticks of thunder. They called us Sasquatch, they called us abominable.
So the movie begins by introducing the stones. And these aren't just rules, they're the absolute and undeniable truth. And you can't question them by any means. And looking at the cosmology they invented to keep the public compliant, we have the three big stones. The world that is crushed into existence by a great sky yak, the village that floats on a sea of clouds that's held up by four massive mammoths, and the sun that's a giant glowing fire snail crawling across the sky. All of this somehow sounds more logical than whatever the fuck flat earthers believe in.
See what I'm saying? It's the government. You're being programmed by the government. Space isn't real.
So to keep this fake reality moving, Migo's father has a prestigious job, launching himself headfirst into a giant metal gong every morning.
Because there's literally no other way to ring a gong.
Sarcastically meta-referencing the stupidity of your plot device does not in any way relieve you of the responsibility of said stupidity.
So think about the philosophy here. Migo's dad has completely lost his hearing and suffered decades of brain trauma, and Migo can't wait to inherit the job. Now this is the ultimate triumph of an authoritarian cult, getting the working class to happily destroy their own physical health for a sacred duty that feeds a fake machine. It's a perfect psychological inception. Every yeti knows their place and they call it perfection. So the thing with every single cult is that they have rules that everything is based on. The whole world surrounds these rules. And the movie starts with answers, because the most important things in a cult is to keep people from questioning stuff. You give them answers to questions, but not the right answers, but the answers they need to hear.
As a cult leader, sometimes it's not enough just getting people to think alike. You need to take things even further.
I feel like this is such a perfect inception for this movie, presenting how the world works. And you see the world being so contained by the rules they have. They are willing to lose everything because this is how the machine works. This is what the machine is made for, you to play by the rules. It's immaculate.
Say what you will about cults. They bring people together.
It's a perfect way to start their movie, and when you think that nothing can be better, they gave the propaganda song perfection.
Get everybody do their part, and they do it with a happy heart, and it gives them all a sense of greater purpose.
Joan sends back home movies to the temple, which paint the settlement as paradise.
Don't listen to them. They're questioning the stones, and we don't do that, okay?
If there's a question causing you to go astray, just stuff it down inside until it goes away. Got it?
The first song, Perfection, sung by Migo, is the perfect way to show that the world works on some rules and nobody questioning them. There are some people questioning them, but they are pretty much the weirdos. They look different than everybody else.
They're listening. Ooh. The ears of oppression.
Yeah.
Now here in chapter 2, everything changes when Migo gets flung outside the village. And where does the truth come from? Well, my fellow viewer, it falls directly from the sky. And that's just brilliant. It's a brilliant nod to human history. A literal reference to how Isaac Newton discovered gravity.
I'm a master, I discovered gravity. I drop rhymes like they're falling from an apple tree.
But when Migo brings this truth back, he's immediately banished.
Stay forward. You will be banished from the village.
What? Because an authoritarian system doesn't debate logic. They excommunicate the doubter to keep the rest of the herd safe from the infection.
What's the piece of advice you're always giving me?
Do what you're told.
The other one.
Blend in.
The other one.
Follow the stones, be a cog, do your part. Never disagree with the stonekeeper.
Always be true.
Challenging a stone, because if it goes against a stone, it can't be true.
And this brings us to the underground resistance group, led by the Stonekeeper's daughter, Michi. And the Stonekeeper's children represents a beautiful psychology allegory, the duality of mind. The son, Twerp, the dumb believer, he represents the ego that blindly follows orders because thinking is too hard.
Something's not adding up. Yeah, I can't do math. You're coming with me.
But the daughter, Michi, she's different. She is the intellectual. Her song, Wonderful Life, that we're gonna talk about later, it's a breathtaking anthem for skepticism and curiosity. And when Migo falls all the way down the mountain, reality hits him fast. He watches a goat gets brutally attacked by a falcon. And the movie wastes no time showing us that nature doesn't care about gentle rules written on the stones. And I love that. Also, all that scene with the Migo and the rope, I found it extremely funny. I laughed so hard on it. And the thing is that Migo doesn't give up that easily. He knows what he saw. He knows that something is wrong. He doesn't just, okay, I was hallucinating.
You're gonna die.
Not today, asshole. See, you hallucinating.
Huh? What?
And talking about Wonderful Life, it's a very nice song and I love it. After Perfection, A Wonderful Life, it's such a beautiful, like, continuation of that song in a way, because Perfection talks about how everything is perfect because it's the same, and A Wonderful Life talks about how everything is wonderful if you look beyond what you know.
There's more to life that meets the eye of beauty to behold. It's so much bigger than we know. So go around every corner, search every part of the sky. 'Cause a life that's full of wonder is a wonderful life.
The thing that I love the most about this scene is that Migos doesn't just, okay, I got all of this information, they show him some proof of Smallfoot, but he isn't like, okay, this is the proof, I believe you. No, he's very skeptical, he's very much still part of the cult.
I always thought it was weird that a mountain floats when there's obviously some invisible force pulling us downward and keeping everything around us from drifting off into the sky.
You're crazy. Don't call me crazy.
Yeah, I better call it crazy guy crazy.
It doesn't want to change all of a sudden, but the power of love, with also some good points, makes him think, okay, maybe there's something to it. And to regain his credibility and to be able to show people the truth, he goes under the clouds. Here in chapter 3 we are getting to Percy. And yes, James Corden character's Percy, it's pretty much as annoying as James Corden himself. And the funny thing, Percy, the character played by James Corden, he is a fame-hungry TV host that failed in every single thing, and he's now desperate to be relevant again.
I need you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
And he sung the cover of Under Pressure. It's bad. I know. I genuinely scratching my mind the fact that this movie is so perfect, but they had to include him for some reason. He was popular at the time. I get it. Let's leave it alone.
Holy did Corden's character single-handedly turn this into Emoji Movie 2? Because I did not consent to that.
For some of you, this movie might be too cartoonish, and you might not like this self-aware comedy, because a lot of the jokes are very self-aware and very much physical, you know, like the Looney Tunes stuff. And I love it. I love the fact that Warner Brothers decided to keep that Looney Tunes vibes with this movie and also make it as intelligent as it is. Because at the core, Warner Brothers, you know, it's the studio behind Looney Tunes. So keeping that physical and that, you know, you can fall until you get the rope in your hands and then you fall. For some people might not be that funny, but for me it was genuinely funny. Sorry, not sorry. When we talk about comedy, I can't really say you are wrong or you're right. If you like it, good. If you don't, then I'm sorry.
Smallfoot? Hello? Oh, that's supposed to fall that way?
So, Migos gets on the earth. He gets in the plane starts, and chaos ensues. It's fun. I love it. And then he gets to the human world, where is this small fun joke that Percy doesn't recognize the Yeti as a real Yeti and thinks it's just a costume.
Brenda? Brenda?
Never Jeff.
So, Now let's talk about the thing that I loved so much about this movie. Humans and yetis don't speak the same language.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Sorry, do you speak English?
No, I don't, sorry.
And so a lot of misunderstanding happens. Because in this movie, a very important part that you need to understand, that action happens and we misunderstood them. For example, Migos thinks that Percy is funny, when Percy is actually trying to escape and shot him.
That's ironic.
And then Migos try to warn Percy, but then Percy thinks he's about to be eaten. The first thing where finally the misunderstanding ends, it's when Percy is attacked by a bear, but then Migos tries to help him.
You just walk into my cave, you don't even wipe your feet.
And pushes him back. Percy suddenly finds, okay, maybe this isn't what I thought. And then, later in that scene, Migos gets trapped in a bear trap. And now Percy has the opportunity to show, okay, I'm actually a good person inside.
Oh, this is the wrong time to grow a conscience!
And I like it. You might say it's rushed. And I agree in some parts that this movie it's a bit too short. And some decisions are made extremely quickly. But the important thing is that the movie sets every single thing right enough for them to make sense. Because Migos, from the very beginning, was good and wanted to help. And then Percy got that because it wasn't eaten by a bear, and then decides to help Migos. So things are going naturally. They might be rushed, but they are naturally and they make sense in the story.
I made my life decision at the age of 17.
So now that we talked about how this movie is a masterclass in relativism, that being the gesture of kindness from one perspective looking like an act of war from another, let's go back to the mountains, where the cracks in the ideology are widening. The gong isn't hit, yet the sun rises anyway. And Migos' father has, say it with me, an identity crisis. Yes, a yeti has a full identity crisis in a kids movie.
If I don't ring the gong, I'm not the gong ringer. And if I'm not the gong ringer, then what am I?
So now that we finally saw the first real interaction between Migos and Percy, and they both realized that there is not war between them and they're just two curious creatures trying to understand one another.
Oh, you're a big boy. Hi, you're so cute. What's your name? What's your name? Right there. Oh, hi. Vino Moose. Oh, hi, Vino Moose.
But now that we finally have Percy and Migos back in the society, the movie gets to the peak of it, where everything calms down. We got the lie, and now we got the truth. Who is gonna win?
And new rules apply. So it's best just to let it lie.
Now that Migos is finally in the city, all the yetis are pretty much curious what is this? So the reality, it's crumbling. And it's extremely nice to see a movie where it has the balls to say, okay, you lived under a lie. So what's happening now? Well, Migos sings again the song Wonderful Life.
Bigger than we know.
How? Why? What do you mean?
It's only just beginning to unfold.
So confused.
But what makes a great musical structure work, it's how these melodies evolve. Later on, when the truth starts to bleed into their world, the narrative flips the script. We moved from the rigid control of perfection to the liberating curiosity of wonderful life. And when a story takes a character who was the poster child for the lie and forces them to confront a song about searching every corner of the sky, it's just this catchy musical transition. And hearing Migo singing Wonderful Life, now that everybody is finally confronting the truth, it's just so amazing. Yeah, I love that. I love the small little jokes that the movie throw around, because it shows that it's actually a very intelligent movie at the end of the day, not just a funny movie for kids. It's a movie that understands the deep message that it's trying to convey.
They're talking to Migo because they have questions, and he's listening instead of telling them to just push them down.
So now that we are finally in the position where people are like, we are living under a lie, the Stonekeeper is like, we need to take some desperate measures. So it takes Migo, and now, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the greatest piece of a villain song in a musical ever. Let It Lie. If you never listened to Let It Lie, please do yourself a favor. Leave this video alone. Go and listen to Let It Lie. But not just close your eyes and listen to the lyrics. Are insane. Let It Lie explains perfectly why the humans were actually killing yetis and how yetis had to go in the mountains because people can live in the mountains, which is actually real.
In the world, there are very few human habitations above 16,000 feet because you just can't keep up. Now, all of a sudden, you're at 26,000 feet. You're 10,000 feet above that level. And so things are breaking down. If you cut yourself, you don't heal very well. If you get sick, you do not get better. So you're definitely in the zone where your body can't keep up.
And Let It Lie explains perfectly why the world is the way it is, why the stones are important.
We had no choice but to run and hide. Otherwise, we surmised we were facing genocide. Wrote more laws, more rules to obey. For the sake of us all, it was the only way to protect us from all of the human ravages heaped upon us by those human savages. Did he greet you with open arms? They don't care about us. They don't care about anything but themselves.
I love it how this movie and everything that the Yetis does, it's actually for a machine. This is a machine that works and that keeps the society hidden. And also the lyrics like, what's true and not true, it's in the eye of the beholder.
What's true or not true is in the eye of the beholder.
So pretty much this movie evolves around the noble lie, you know? The idea that a leader must lie and keep the flow of information in order to keep everybody safe.
Protect the lie and you protect the village.
Actually, I think it's extremely intelligent when a movie doesn't make a bad character bad because of the sake of it. The Stonekeeper, it's bad for the perspective of Migo only because it tells a lie. But in his perspective, he's protecting a society of a potential inevitable genocide because humans suck. And this movie doesn't hide the fact that humans suck.
To protect us from all of the human ravages heaped upon us by those human savages.
Unfortunately, a lie can hold forever, especially when you get curiosity and also love into the mix. So the movie gets into another duality. On one side we have Michi that sees Percy dying and decides to take him and bring him back to home. And there's a very sweet scene about learning the word home by making signs of a roof.
And what is this thing here?
That's the roof of my home. Home?
Home?
On the other side we have Migo, who, enticed by what the Stonekeeper said, decides that the only way he can protect the Yetis is by continuing the lie. Which brings us to the moment where Migo goes in the front and everybody's like, oh, he was lying, that was just a yak. And the conspiracy group are like, no, you are lying that you are lying, but you are actually saying the truth. And we have that moment of everybody making a decision. Luckily for everybody, Migo, once he sees that Michi escaped, decides to go and follow her. But not before apologizing to the group. And luckily the movie moves pretty fast over this. But when they hit the human city, we see the darkest truth of human society. People fear what they don't understand. And when humans don't understand something, they attack. Michi sees the horrific propaganda posters of evil, bloodthirsty Yetis and realizes that the Stonekeeper wasn't entirely wrong.
This is what your dad showed me. This is why I lied. They are monsters.
No, they think we're monsters.
Humans are monsters when driven by fear. Percy, like it or not, redeems his character by sacrificing his own fate, taking the blame and showing the world that these aren't real and he was just making a hoax to get popular. Also, another important thing, it's how the Stonekeeper decides to throw everything, every single stone of his, every single one of his beliefs in order to save his daughter. A sign of something bigger than his own good. You know, I like this type of moments. And then they all go to the Yetis world and then they have a chat and they explain the real world and every single lie and how every single lie was meant to protect them and how humans try to kill them. And there's this funny joke about who shits Yetis. And actually, That's a pretty good question. Like, I think yetis have enough procreation to know that there is no butt involved, or I don't know. I don't know how yetis biology works. I don't. They. Sorry for asking. But then the yetis go down to meet humans, and then humans, obvious, they respond with violence and with protection and the shields, which, honest to God, what do you think some shields and some bats are gonna do with the 5 foot tall yeti? Like, what's the plan? Die? That's the plan? I mean, are more yetis than the 8 or 10 Nepalese people there? Never mind. But Percy, it's again trying to show that, hey, wait, they're good actually. And then we have the song Moment of Truth, which is just delightful. Love it. Perfect. The cherry on the cake. Amazing.
I am optimistic. Yes, I do believe we have the power to make this world a better place.
So that's Smallfoot. In my opinion, it's a masterclass. It's like Animal Farm. It's the same precise thing, but somehow with a Looney Tunes flavor. And I think that's perfect. I think that's amazing.
I'll promise you a 4-day week. Gosh! Perhaps mine.
And I'm so offended by the fact that this movie stands at a 2.7 rate on Letterboxd. And I read some of the comments, and I know, I get it. Some people don't like the comedy. Some people think this is way too animated, like the characters move too much like a spaghetti, and I don't like it. Or how can cartoons be cartoonish? I don't agree with that. Cartoons should be human and real, like Toy Story 4. What? And also, James Corden. Okay, you don't like James Corden. Okay, I don't like James Corden too, don't get me wrong. He did a lot of shitty stuff, and he's a shitty person. But this movie, it's extremely well put together. Plays with Oleg. It plays so well. All the characters have at least one funny joke. And the story that is trying to convey about lie, the importance of lie in the human life, and you know, the importance of truth also, and how manipulation and how history is dictated by the side you are on. Because, you know, I heard this joke once with, I'm so happy that every single war was won by the good guys. You get the joke? There is no good guy. It's just your life, it's dictated by the side that won. The same goes for this, and Smallfoot does such a good job. It's such an intelligent movie, and I love it with my soul. And I think you should give it a try. You think you should watch it. And I think you should watch it with an open mind. And I agree. The movie is rushed. There are plenty of things that are not explained, like what's with the mother, how did she die, or why did the yetis change their mind so fast, and all of a sudden they found out the truth, and then now they're going to the human world. But the thing is, those are just small peaks here and there, in my opinion. The more important story, it's about how a lie can dictate a society, and how truth can change everything and the perspective of society and make something, in some cases, better than what was original there, and how overprotecting something, it's not the real solution. I love Smallfoot, and I think it's an incredible movie that got under lots of people because it was made in 2018 when animation was pretty much not in the best spot ever. It was a changing period, and also the stars and the marketing, but I love Smallfoot. I think it's a great movie, I think it's a great story, and I think it has amazing music. Do you agree with me? Do you hate what I said? Do you think I'm actually insane and I should stop doing whatever I'm on? No problem. Leave in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion. Let's start a cult. Let's spread some lies. It was a joke. It was a joke. Don't cut this. But see you soon to a next episode. Thank you for watching, and also thank you very much for all the good comments on the last video, the epic one. I'm so glad that it had such a good reach, and I hope this one does the same. I don't know. Who knows? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Now, first order of business, fight pits.
Yeah!
The combatants are Yuki and Simon.
Oh, hey, that's us!
Hooray!
I've wanted to do that for a while.
We all have.